Hi again, everybody. Dave Stevens from Radio Row. We got no technical glitches today, so I'm going to get right to my guest. He's a busy man. He's on the Pacific Coast. You might remember, he played in the NFL, quarterback for a long time in the league, Buffalo, Dallas, and of course, the last superstar to lead the Patriots to an AFC championship other than Tom Brady. So joining me from his car, thanks, my friend, Drew Bledsoe. It's great to sort of see you. Normally we get together and say hi, but there you are. What's going on, my friend? Drew, do you hear me? Drew, do you hear me? There we go.
I don't know what's going on.
Hello, test 1, 2. All right. Drew, can you hear me?
Yeah, it says I've got full bars, man, but I can't hear you. Let me pull up here a little ways and see if I can.
All right. I'll let you do that.
Better. Hold on a second.
Drew is going to join me in a second. This is Dave Stevens coming to you from the Tampa Bay Super Bowl. And again, thank everybody for joining me.
So I can get better service because I'm not getting you right now.
Drew's going to get back in here in a second here. We're going to have him log back in. But right now I can do some housekeeping and just thank you guys, everybody, for joining me from the Disability Channel, Ali Plus TV, of course, Dave Stevens Speaks, and Quinnipiac University Ability Media. We are so excited that you guys are a part of everything. Drew, can you hear me? Do we have you back? No Drew Bledsoe yet. He'll check in a second. I apologize again. We've had some issues again. I'm on site remote in Tampa Bay. Drew, test 1, 2. I'm going to show you, Drew. You there, Drew? All right, I'll talk a second. We are here at the Super Bowl in Tampa. Obviously, we're trying to get our guests virtually. Drew is
see if it gets any better here.
Working to get his connection on. And again, I apologize how this happens every now and then. I'm going to kick him out. Hopefully he can log back in and that'll do it. But like I said, Drew Bledsoe is a great quarterback, been with a lot of teams, with Buffalo, Dallas, and of course the New England Patriots. He's going to jump back in. Meanwhile, we're also going to have some amazing things coming up on the show. We have the mighty Quinn and his mother, Tara Waters, are going to join us to talk about his cancer, how he thought he beat it 2 years ago, and now it's back. And I believe I have Drew. Do I have you, Drew?
Yeah.
There we go.
I got you.
All right.
I got you now, bud.
Cool. Excellent. Well, hey, that's the fun, and I don't mind. I appreciate you being here with us. So again, Drew Bledsoe, kind of a famous quarterback, known for his days in New England. As I said, he led the Patriots to their last AFC championship game before that little dude Tom Brady came over. So I'm glad you're here with us. Thank you for joining. First off, how you doing up there? It looks like a lot of snow.
Yeah, but I'm actually up here at beautiful Mount Bachelor here in Central Oregon. Got about 7 inches of snow last night, so I'm gonna go slide around a little bit, play in the snow a little bit. And but it's good to talk to you, man. Always good to catch up.
And Drew, of course, a legend, I think. I mean, he's got passing records at a lot of places. Don't forget, he also played his college ball out there in Washington. So people know who he is. And in fact, Drew, what a lot of people don't know, and let me put it up here, is you've got a second business going that's been doing pretty well, huh?
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun, man. My second career, I was able to go back to my hometown. I grew up in this little town of Walla Walla, Washington. Our Chamber of Commerce says it's the town so nice they named it twice. But they went back there and started a winery called Doubleback, which, Doubleback deal. It's not a football term, but it's more about grew up there, went off and played ball, and then doubled back and came back home. It's been going well, man. We're 14 years in, believe it or not, and just released our 2018 vintage, and I think it's the best wine we've ever made. So it's been a heck of a ride.
That's awesome. And now where can they find this online? Because I know when I looked last time I tried to do, it was almost all sold out. There was just some seltzer water or something you guys had.
Yeah, right. It's there you go. Go to doubleback.com and you sign up there, and then our team will reach out to you. But yeah, we just released the new vintage. So if you get a hold of us at the winery, they can make it available.
All right. And we're going to have some guests coming on a little bit later. We're going to have Tara Waters and her son, the mighty Quinn, are going to join us. If you haven't heard their story, it's pretty awesome. She's joining us in a little bit. But back to our friend here, Drew Bledsoe. And again, make sure you go to the website, check out the wine. And I'm going to bring in our folks right now. I don't know if they see us. Hopefully they're latching in, and I'll pull them in a little bit. Tara, do you see us? Can you hear us?
It's a little
hello.
Yeah. You give them a thumbs up.
All right, they can hear us. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and start this. Again, it's a spontaneous TV here, but who I've brought in is a wonderful young man. He is an inspiration to many in the East Coast. If you don't know his story, his name is Quinn Waters. He developed a cancer in the brain stem. I think it was a tumor 2 years ago. They worked on it, they got it out, and he was honored by his mother's a police officer in Quincy. He's been around the Bruins, the Red Sox, all kinds of these teams supported him, and I was told yesterday by John Leonard of Good Police News that I think we have a bump in the road, and we're going to need to get the call out there. So Tara joins us. I don't know if she broke up or not. Tara is frozen. So again, this doesn't always work, but Drew, I know you have some words for the mighty Quinn and his mother, and hopefully they can join us here in a second. But yeah, if you could just show your support, and we're going to put up something on the screen that can help the mighty Quinn.
Absolutely. Well, Quinn, you're an inspiration, bud. I'm sorry you're having to go through this again after you already beat it one time. But to anybody and everybody out there that's listening, my understanding is that we need to get in and give blood. That sounds like sounds like there's a shortage out there. So, if you have a chance and inclination, go to your local blood bank, give some blood, because I think people have stopped doing that during COVID, and there's a shortage, and we need it. So, but Quinn, keep being an inspiration, buddy, and I know you'll beat this thing again.
That's awesome. And thank you, Drew, so much for talking to Quinn, the mighty Quinn. And I think Tara has rejoined us. It looks like we're doing all Cars interviews today. So let me see if I can bring her in, if it's a little better and she can hear us. Tara, do we have you?
I can hear you perfectly clear.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us. And Drew just, was talking about Quinn's situation. If you want to update us and please tell us what you guys found out, and again, what we can do to help.
So like you had said in the intro, is that Quinn was diagnosed the day after his third birthday with a medulloblastoma brain tumor. His last scan was this past Friday. He has them every 3 months. He had been clear up until Friday when they discovered 2 new tumors in the brain cavity. So they believe it's medulloblastoma, and part of his treatment will be, again, he'll start radiation for the first time, but he'll go back to some intense chemo as well. And he turns 5 next week, so it's not the best time. But what we learned, we've been so supported by everyone, throughout our own community and larger. And Drew Bledsoe, we're huge fans, and I love your Doubleback wine. But what we learned throughout Quinn's initial struggle was that blood and platelets is literally a lifeline for these children battling cancer. There'd be days where we'd be saying, like, I know he needs platelets. Can you just give them to him? Because as soon as he got them, it was like an immediate boost to his system, and the color would come back in his face and his energy level would come back up. And so the fact that, like, all of us are walking around with, we're all healthy for the most part with blood and platelets and not donating is just a shame. You got these small little warriors doing things not once, but twice over. And none of them should have to wait for these transfusions. None of them should have to be delayed in getting something that's going to keep them healthy and keep them strong enough to fight cancer, especially just give it for free.
How's his attitude? How's Quinn doing? I know he's in school, and I know, how do you break that news to a child that you got another battle ahead of you?
Unfortunately, Quinn is very open and honest about, with his friends about cancer. He doesn't really get it. We told him last night, the cancer is back in your brain, buddy. Today's your last day of school, and we're going to have to go back and fight this again. And we, for him being just 4 years old, we kind of made it seem like it's a video game. And, we're like a video game. We're going to battle these bad guys inside your brain. And we'll do it together. And it was actually harder to tell his sister. She's 8. She was, really affected by it, having her parents split up while one was in the hospital and one was at home. And Quinn was in the hospital for almost 6 months. She's 8. She worries about herself, and she's worried about her brother as well. She knows that he could die from this, and that's something that 8-year-olds should never have to know. But Quinn is a warrior. I mean, I've never met anyone like him. When I told him last night, he was like, okay, that's what we're doing now. And I'm sure there'll be days coming up where he'll say, like, I don't want to go to the hospital. I want to go to school. And we'll work through them. He always does. All of these kids with cancer, they just champion through. And we're unlucky that he's older. He knows he's missing out on things, and he knows, this isn't normal for kids to be going to a hospital every day. When he was younger, it was just kind of like, so this is what we do now. We live in a hospital. But we'll get through it, and we're so lucky to have the support systems that we do have in place. And, that's one of the things even now cheering us on when we made the announcement on his Facebook page and his Instagram page.
Well, we're gonna do our best, and thank you for Drew joining us. And as a lifelong Patriots fan, let me step away. And do you want to ask Drew something, or just say hi, or what a great career? And again, this guy mentored Tom Brady, so a lot of those successes he doesn't get credit for. So I'm gonna step back and you guys chat for a second.
I'll say it's not even about Tom Brady. Drew Bledsoe brought the Patriots back from the brink of nothing. So I hate to say this, Drew, but I was in high school when you started with the Patriots.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, making me feel old. I get it. That's okay.
Just had insult to injury, but we're all.
That's right.
And
no, it was a heck of a ride, man. It was so fun being there and being a part of those teams when things were really changing, and they were fun teams to be a part of. And then obviously from there they've gone on to be one of the greatest dynasties ever in sports. But we were there when it started, and it was pretty fun.
Well, I mean, I think I speak for all of Massachusetts and New England when I say you're always a class act, and that's all that matters.
Right
and you
on.
make fine, and you make delicious wine. So
right on. Yeah, no, thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah, I was just up at the winery yesterday, and new vintage. Just released a new vintage of Doubleback, and it's the best one we've made so far. So
awesome.
Hopefully here when Quinn beats this thing again, you can open a bottle and celebrate another victory over cancer for your little dude. And hopefully everybody out there is going to go find a blood bank and go donate today so we can help him and so many other people that need it.
Drew, let me ask you this, because I mean, you have a family, you have kids, and I know what Tara's gone through, the support from Good Police News and the police all over the place. But what kind of advice or would you give Quinn in this battle? And as a parent, what can you say?
Well, geez, I don't have a good answer to that, David. But the only thing that I do know is that I've had a chance to be around young people like Quinn who've had to go through these things that could, on the surface are just devastating. And I'm always inspired by the strength and the perseverance of kids when these things when they have to battle. The strength, the positive attitude, all of that. And then, as a parent, I mean, it's just I know it's a devastating thing to have to go through that with your child, and you just shower them with love. And I know that Quinn's getting that not only from his folks but from the community at large. You shower them with love and help them battle through it. We've been fortunate. We haven't had to deal with anything like that in our family with our kiddos. But I've watched other people go through it. And it's a really, really tough thing, but it's just always such an inspiration, though, to see how these young people deal with, devastating circumstances. And I think as adults, I don't know why we lose that when we get older. But when these kids are young, they fight through it. And I'm sure he'll beat this thing again.
Thanks, Drew.
Well, Well, Tara, I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank you for your love, your strength, and we're going to get this out, Quinnipiac and everybody, Ability, media and everybody. We're going to try to get this out so we get everybody back involved to be a part of your fight. Your strength is beautiful, and if you take 30 seconds and wrap it up, how can we help you? How can we help the mighty Quinn? And we'll let you go.
I would say pray to God you believe in, and donate blood and platelets to your local children's hospital. The shortages are unreal right now because of COVID, and that's the number one thing that parents and the children need.
Such a beautiful, strong boy. He's been through it again. We hope to help you. We'll be there for you in your corner. So, Tara, thank you for spending some time with me. Give our best to the mighty Quinn. I'm going to jump back on with Drew and talk a little Super Bowl, but God bless you. Stay strong, and thank you, Tara.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very
much. All right.
Yeah, thanks, Tara. Nice to meet you.
All right, Drew, thanks. So I know you got to go. We'll quickly wrap up. We talk about, the things you've done in your life and the things in your career and all these amazing things. I'm not going to bring up the video of the time I sacked you a couple of years ago. We'll just run through that. I'll just put that on the screen. No, just joking. But, all the fun you have, you really did. You did mentor Tom Brady. I mean, you did help him start his career with that mindset. And I know you moved on to Dallas and Buffalo, but it all started with you and that young kid that you worked with. And I'm just wondering, what your thoughts are still seeing him moving to a different city, the success he's had, and now he's led this team to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Tom's been a special guy since first met him. His first year, just practice squad. Wasn't even dressing for games that first year, and then the second year he was kind of learning, and there was sort of some debate as to whether he was going to be the backup or whether Damon Heward was going to be the backup. And then when I got hurt, it was Tommy's turn, and he came in, and obviously everybody knows what an amazing career he's gone on to have. But the things that make him special now are the same things that made him special back then. He's always had just a fanatical work ethic. He's a sponge. He's a great leader, and even now continuing to learn and develop and look for advantages as he's gotten older. And it's just pretty cool. And the good thing is, man, in most of the important ways, Dave, he's still the same dude that I met 20 something years ago. He really hasn't changed in most of the important ways.
Well, it's so awesome, and it's got to feel weird. I mean, you're 48, he's 43. Do you ever think, man, maybe I could come back and sign with the team and do something?
When it comes to throwing the football, I can still go do that part. I'm not sure I'm willing to get hit anymore. I mean, you sacked me. That's the only time I've been sacked in the last few. So, and I am kind of getting used to not getting hit. So I don't think I want to do that part anymore.
Well, Drew, thanks for joining us sometime. I've got to put you on the spot. I think I know where your heart is, but we also know reality. I mean, what are you thinking about this game? I mean, Patrick Mahomes is the future. Tom Brady is the past, but you couldn't have asked for a better matchup at a Super Bowl. So we've won already, but, give me your insight.
Well, I'll put this caveat on it. I have been so unbelievably awful at predicting games this year. So I'll tell you what I think. But if you really, based on my history this year, if you're actually going to gamble, you should go against what I say, because I've been just unbelievably terrible this year. But it seems to me like the Chiefs got to win this one. They just have so much firepower, and they just seem to be able to score points at will. But I think it's going to be a heck of a game. Seems like it's going to be a high-scoring affair. Both teams have tremendous weapons, great quarterbacks. Seems like it should be a high-scoring kind of game, but it sure seems to me like the Chiefs should come away with the W.
Well, all right, my friend, we've taken enough of your time. I appreciate you just joining us from where you're at. It's always good to connect. I can't wait to see you in person. Hey, how's your son doing? What's going on with him?
Oh, man, they're all doing great, man. We got one college graduate who's actually currently off on an RV ski trip with some buddies, so proud of him. And then John's looking to grad transfer out of Washington State, play a couple more years, hasn't quite figured out where he's going to land. And then Henry is the one that you met. He's now a sophomore down at the University of Denver. and just loving life, going to school down there. So family's good, bud.
And anything you want to promote other than the wine? Any charity events? Are you going to be able to do your things?
Just the wine right now. We our winery. That's where we do all of our charitable stuff now. Is via the winery, and we support a lot of good causes. But people buy wine from us, and then we turn around and donate money to good causes. And there certainly are plenty of them out there right now. We're supporting 5 or 6 different charitable endeavors right now.
All right, my friend. Thanks again. Hope to talk to you and see you soon. It's always great to connect. So thank you, Drew Bledsoe. I appreciate it, my friend. All right, that's Dave Stevens and Drew Bledsoe. After we worked out the kinks, and again, I really, really, really can't ask you guys enough out there to, if you're in the East Coast, visit the Boston Children's Hospital or your local hospitals. Give blood; they need the plasma. As we talked about, the mighty Quinn has a huge battle in front of him. So go out and do something good today, and you might feel good. So thanks, everybody. Continued success for hopefully here at Radio Row. We have some other guests coming up. We got Chris Long at 2 p.m., JB Smooth, Daryl Strawberry, and, of course, David Keckner. You remember Champ from Anchorman 1 and 2, Saturday Night Live, the Goldbergs. I mean, this guy is so busy. He's doing so much. So this is Dave Stevens wrapping it up for another great interview from Radio Row. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, and wherever you have a handheld phone or a laptop. We will see you later this afternoon. Chris Long coming up. Bye-bye.